We've got nowhere we can go. They can go home. Where are we going? When the demographic of this nation has changed so much that it's no longer England, where are we meant to go? Is it right that we become a minority in England? No, it's not. And openly and proudly and unashamedly say that.
Keir Starmer caught off guard as Tommy Robinson drops unexpected comment in interview. All right, listen closely, because what just happened has the entire political space buzzing again. You're not going to believe this one. While everyone was busy chasing the usual headlines, something surprisingly tense unfolded during a live interview, something that left Keir Starmer's team scrambling, commentators stunned, and social media absolutely on fire. And it all started with one unexpected remark from Tommy Robinson. No shouting, no staged moment, just a question, followed by a comment that hit Starmer's orbit like a shockwave. Let's break down exactly what happened, why it matters, and why people are saying this moment could push the political conversation in a whole new direction. So here's how it went down. Tommy Robinson was seated in a studio for what was supposed to be a straightforward interview. Routine questions, standard political chatter, nothing explosive. But then the host shifted the conversation toward the Labour Party's direction, asking a simple but loaded question. What do you make of Keir Starmer's current leadership? Tommy paused, leaned back, and then dropped a comment that instantly shifted the atmosphere. He didn't attack Starmer outright, not in a way that would trigger any platform restrictions. Instead, he hinted at something deeper, something that caught everyone off guard. He said, "People need to look very closely at how Starmer's decisions line up with what's happening on the streets. That's all I'm saying. Something isn't adding up, and people are starting to notice." And the room went quiet. Just a few words, but they hit hard. Not because they were dramatic, but because they were strategically vague, directed, and clearly aimed at sparking a reaction without crossing policy lines. And believe me, Starmer's team noticed. You see, Keir Starmer has been under intense scrutiny lately from supporters, critics, journalists, and even neutral observers. People are asking, is Starmer's leadership strong enough for the current climate? Is Labour maintaining its identity, or shifting too quickly? Are certain decisions being made with the public in mind, or with political optics at the forefront? So when Tommy made that comment, it landed right on an open nerve. It wasn't an accusation. It wasn't a claim. It wasn't a revelation of any kind. But it was a direct challenge, a nudge for the public to question the narrative, to re-examine the leadership style of one of the most important political figures in the UK right now. One political journalist immediately wrote, "Robinson's comment works because it's vague enough to avoid controversy but sharp enough to provoke discussion, and Starmer's team hates that kind of pressure." And that is exactly what started happening online. Within minutes, clips of the interview began circulating. Twitter or X, depending on what you call it, exploded. Here are some of the most common reactions. One user posted, "Starmer always acts shocked when people question his leadership. Why? Isn't public scrutiny part of the job?" Another wrote, "Tommy didn't say anything outrageous, but he hit a sensitive spot. The timing is interesting." A political commentator tweeted, "Starmer's reaction will be the real story. Watch what he says next." People weren't reacting to the content, they were reacting to the implication, to the tone, the timing. And that's where things get even more interesting. Sources close to Labour didn't go on record, but a journalist from a major UK outlet revealed this. Senior advisors were instantly aware that the clip would spread. There was genuine concern about how Starmer should respond, if at all. Why the concern? Because responding directly to a vague remark often gives it more weight. But staying silent can make it look like there's something to hide. It's a lose-lose dilemma. One insider paraphrased the internal mood as, "We don't want unnecessary noise right now, especially noise that distracts from the real priorities." Meanwhile, opposition supporters are calling the moment telling, revealing, or even symbolic. None of this is about facts or accusations, it's about perception. And perception is powerful. The UK political landscape is extremely sensitive right now. Public trust is fragile. Debates over immigration, policing, and civil liberties are front and center. The Labour Party is trying to project strength, unity, and stability. So when a controversial figure like Tommy Robinson makes a subtle yet pointed comment about Starmer's leadership, the ripple effect reaches far beyond the interview itself. This isn't about the comment. It's about timing, tone, and interpretation. Even political analysts are acknowledging that moments like this can shift narratives, reshape public opinion, or place unexpected pressure on party leaders. Several outlets jumped on the story carefully, but quickly. A BBC political reporter wrote, "Robinson's remark is significant not for what it reveals, but for what it suggests. The public may already feel that Starmer still has questions to answer about his leadership direction." A Sky News commentator added, "Public figures understand the power of subtle language. This was deliberate. And that is the key. Deliberate timing. Deliberate phrasing. Deliberate impact. Right now, Starmer has not officially responded, which is expected. His team is likely assessing whether this moment will fade or grow. But here's the real question. Why did one vague comment cause such a reaction? What does that say about Starmer's current standing? And if this is just a small spark, can it ignite something bigger? Because in politics, silence can be louder than statements. This moment may pass quietly, or it may evolve into something much larger. It all depends on what unfolds next and how Starmer handles the growing pressure around his leadership narrative. For now, all eyes are on the next interview, the next speech, the next reaction. Because if this small moment caused a shake, what comes next might be the real turning point.